You do look to be in great shape. How is the training camp going? Because we see the 30-second clips with Rafael Cordero and your whole team, but could you give us a little more insight into how things are going?
I'm doing great, but my body is shit right now. I'm sore, I'm really sore.
Sure, he's 100, but G looks good.
Yeah, man, he's looking really, really good. I'm definitely a little bit crazy, and I'm definitely a little bit scared.
Just 2 months after stepping into the spotlight for his monumental bout against Jake Paul, Mike Tyson seems to be facing a troubling downward spiral. The once feared champion, who once ruled the boxing world with unmatched dominance, now appears lost, struggling to find a new place in the public eye. Recent footage has sent shockwaves through his fanbase, showing Tyson noticeably heavier, not from added muscle, but from visible weight gain. It's a somber sight for many who idolized him during his peak. The question on everyone's mind: what's happening behind the scenes with this fallen icon?
Just that head movement and inside is just wild.
Everything. And the power. It was just, that's what you wanted to see from a heavyweight. So that guy is still alive. And he still remembers all these moments.
In the wake of his high-profile return to the ring, which left fans both electrified and confused about his legacy, Mike Tyson's post-fight life has been far from triumphant. The man once crowned the baddest on the planet now seems caught in a whirlwind of regret and short-term fame grabs. The glory of championship belts has been replaced by whispers of desperation and empty paydays. His latest comeback, rather than being a heroic resurgence, has become a sad, bloated echo of his former greatness, unraveling as quickly as his stamina did in the ring.
Mike Tyson, people would talk to. People are, there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
There was a time when simply hearing the name Mike Tyson sent a chill down the spine of every opponent. He wasn't merely a fighter, he was a storm in human form, a brutal and ferocious force that dismantled anyone who dared stand in his way. He didn't just win fights, he annihilated expectations, ending careers in mere moments with raw aggression and terrifying intensity.
Mike Tyson tweeted that he almost died over the summer. He said, he had a bunch of blood transfusions, just had to fight to get healthy, and then his performance yesterday against Jake Paul. Just your thoughts on what we saw.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong.
But now, as we look at November 15, 2024, the name Mike Tyson evokes a different image, one of struggle, vulnerability, and reflection. His much-hyped fight with Jake Paul wasn't just a physical battle, it was symbolic. It represented a head-on collision between generations, between earned legacy and viral fame. It reminded the world, often painfully, that even gods of the sport eventually face the limits of their own humanity.
Welcome home, Iron Mike Tyson!
This wasn't the iron-jawed warrior we remembered. This was a man, 58 years old, whose body had already been pushed to the edge by a near-fatal health scare earlier in the year. The beast who once made champions crumble was now sharing the ring with a YouTuber nearly half his age. To be honest, the whole event didn't feel like a competition, it felt like a staged farewell masked as a sporting event. A spectacle, not a showdown.
Last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat because he had to jump in with all these sharks again in the middle of Florida. And he's like, this fucking asshole says that, he cares about me and everything else. I've been fighting since I was 12. And he throws me in the fucking ocean with a bunch of shit.
Inside the ropes, Tyson looked like a shadow of his past. He struggled to establish any rhythm, as Jake Paul danced around with the ease and energy of youth. Gone were the explosive hooks and thunderous uppercuts. What remained was the icon bruised, aged, and desperately trying to keep up in a game that no longer waited for him.
But the day after the fight, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that?
The aftermath of the fight sent Tyson into emotional disarray. Let's be brutally honest, can someone approaching 60 step into a brutal combat sport without paying a soul-deep price? Weeks after the bout, Tyson spoke candidly about his mental state, admitting how emotionally intense the experience had been. The fight was such a big ascent. We were so up and high, he confessed, words that cut deeper than any punch.
Was by its nature a horrible fight, right from the start. It was just awful.
The next morning, I turned to my wife and asked, why did I even do that? Tyson shared with the kind of honesty that reveals a man grappling with more than just physical aches. In another sit-down, his vulnerability shined through. He opened up about a lifetime of chasing glory and the devastating realization that perhaps the world has moved on without him.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson now have been suspended from boxing.
Tyson's return to the ring wasn't just another fight. It was an emotional roller coaster that's left the boxing community and Tyson himself in turmoil. During a revealing interview on December 9th, he admitted feeling a little bit depressed in the aftermath. For a man who once stood at the very top of the sport, this wasn't about defeat, it was about an existential reckoning, one that questioned not just his performance but his place in the boxing world.
Judge David Yakubuchi sees the contest 80-72, while judges Lawrence Cole and Jesse Reyes see it 79-73, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jake El Gallo!
The fallout hit like a freight train. What was meant to be a triumphant return turned into something far more painful. Jake Paul walked away with the win, but Tyson left carrying the heavy weight of disappointment. At 58, it wasn't just another loss, it was the reality of time finally catching up. Yet, commercially, the fight was a massive success, pulling in over 108 million Netflix viewers. The hype was undeniable, a titan of the past clashing with a new age sensation. Tyson opened strong, hinting at past glory, but by round 2, it was clear he wasn't the same. Jake saw it, and he capitalized.
And we wouldn't be here today without him. This man is an icon, and it's just an honor to be able to fight him. And he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet, so.
As the rounds progressed, the imbalance became clearer. Jake Paul held the reins throughout, his reflexes and stamina overwhelming the veteran. Tyson's blows, once feared worldwide, lacked their signature explosion. By round 4, the audience wasn't watching a fight anymore. They were watching a painful reality play out, the slow but inevitable defeat of a living legend by the unrelenting force of age.
58, a lot of people thought you shouldn't be here. A lot of people thought you'd be done and dusted in the first round. Do you feel like you proved the world wrong, that you could at least go 8 rounds with a younger man?
I didn't prove nothing to anybody, only to myself.
When the final bell rang, the judges delivered a unanimous verdict in Jake Paul's favor, 80-72, 79-73, 79-73. No debate, no controversy. Just cold, hard numbers that sealed Tyson's defeat. But what followed was even murkier. Rumors began swirling about a scripted fight. Was it theater all along? Too much drama, not enough boxing. Fans were left conflicted.
What do you have to say to the critics that brought that up?
Oh no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little.
Did you watch it back or anything, or no?
I never watched the fight, no I haven't.
And I watched the guy's face, and I watched that confidence bleed from his face.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
It wasn't about what he had left at 58. It was what maybe he might have, and the image, the scary guy, the guy that's going to eat your children, the guy who's the baddest man on the planet.
5 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40. Yeah,
20 and
I think
40.
that's what I'd heard. You know, which I'm happy Mike got the money, and I'm happy that he didn't get hurt. That was my fear, that it was going to be a real fight and he was going to get hurt.
You've known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
I don't know. Maybe his brother.
You want to fight Logan? Logan, I think he said you might be next.
I'll kill you, Mike.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
I believe that he was making the money he says he's making. Showtime Boxing wouldn't have gone out of business, and Showtime would have made sure they kept paying him.
For Jake Paul, this was the defining moment of his career. But for Mike Tyson, it was a painful reckoning. The bitter taste of defeat wasn't just in the record books, it lingered in his soul. The loss wasn't just on paper, it was written in Tyson's slow movements, labored breathing, and every punch that lacked its old bite. And sadly, the damage didn't end when the crowd stopped cheering. Tyson later revealed that parts of the fight are a complete blur. "The last thing I remember is Jake bowing in the ring," he said. That one sentence says everything. This wasn't just a loss, it was a fading memory from a man who once knew nothing but dominance. Mike Tyson will always be Iron Mike, the youngest heavyweight champ at 20, the destroyer of Trevor Berbick, and the ultimate knockout artist. Throughout his prime, Tyson's ferocity was unmatched. Out of 50 career wins, 44 came by knockout. A staggering 24 of those were in the first round. His fights didn't just end fast, they ended violently. He was the first to hold the WBC, WBA, and IBF belts at once, not by luck, but by fearsome skill. Still, the aftermath of the Jake Paul fight fractured the boxing world. Some cheered Tyson for his courage. Others saw only a tragedy unfolding. His knockout record stood like a monument to his power, and his ability to end fights in seconds became legend. Tyson's domination of the heavyweight division was once absolute. But this latest chapter divided fans deeply. Some respected him for showing up. Others couldn't bear to watch him fall. And then there's Jake Paul walking controversy. Is he boxing's new poster boy or just a symbol of its descent into celebrity-driven chaos? Either way, his brand is booming. Beating Tyson only added fuel to the fire. But it also reignited a debate: is this really boxing anymore, or is it just entertainment wrapped in gloves? Beneath the spectacle lies a serious ethical dilemma. Should a 58-year-old, even one with Tyson's legacy, still be allowed to fight? Critics say it's reckless, and watching Tyson falter only strengthens their argument. This wasn't just another loss, it was a glaring sign that some lines shouldn't be crossed, even for legends. And now, with all that behind him, Tyson is calling out Logan Paul for his next bout. Yes, Logan. After falling short against Jake, he's still chasing relevance, still trying to insert himself into today's boxing narrative. It's not just sad, it's surreal. Some believe it's all about money. But let's be clear, Tyson's not broke. This isn't about paychecks. It's deeper. Maybe he's addicted to the roar of the crowd. Maybe he can't walk away from the rush of relevance. He's not chasing cash, he's chasing meaning. And in doing so, he might be writing a chapter no one wants to read. But at what cost? Tyson has endured everything: poverty, prison, loss, redemption. He doesn't owe anyone anything. And yet, here he is, back in the ring, risking what's left of his legacy. The sad truth? Every comeback adds another dent to his mythos. The name Mike Tyson is already immortal. But every punch he throws now risks turning that legacy into a parody. And when we zoom out, Tyson's comeback isn't just about him, it's about the sport of boxing. What once celebrated discipline, grit, and skill is now chasing clicks, views, and headlines. Celebrity boxing is here. And sure, it makes money. But what does it cost the sport's soul? Tyson's defeat wasn't just personal. It was a billboard flashing: boxing, as we knew it, may be on life support.